that we do just as a protective element, something to consider.
Yeah, I don't know if the Art Center looked at that when they were, because they're the ones that organized it.
Yeah.
They did, I know they looked at, when they're doing electrical boxes, they're doing a special coating for that,
Yeah.
so that can be cleaned.
One got tagged already. Yeah, because I just noticed for the bridge abutments as well, they're starting to get.
Do they spray it on or do they roll it on?
What?
It's basically poly, isn't it?
I don't know, things are different for anti-graffiti. I think this is going over murals, it's less of the rubbery.
It's less caustic, yeah.
Component. Yeah.
Are they tagging the Hoosick Street stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a carrion call for people to come in.
Someone's writing homeless everywhere.
Well, pretty good to raise attention to that. I mean, it's not our
the Troy Local Development Corporation Board of Directors meeting. It is November 17th. It is 8:42 a.m. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from October 20th, 2023 board meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed. Minutes approved. Let's move on to the Executive Director's Report. Dylan.
I'm just pulling it up.
I'm so excited to start early too.
I know.
I am.
I'm sorry,
Like,
man. No, we're still starting early, so we're good.
that's true.
Yeah, we have a good 18-minute jump here.
Okay, and I'm gonna, do you want me to, I'm not doing this in executive, report, so I'm gonna do this in, here we go, meetings, sorry. Okay, so, this is always, got it. We're gonna talk about that later, Got it. There's not a lot to talk about outside of the actual resolutions that we have on the table at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I did want to bring up is that we are going to try to have a bit of like an annual sort of report that we're going to start sending out. Nate and I are going to start working on that soon. If you guys have any suggestions or any way that you'd like to kind of see it, let us know. But the idea is to basically track the same kind of KPI every year in terms of what the LDC, the IDA, and the CRC all kind of do. It would be a separate one for each one. And to put together either like a mailer or something along those lines to send out to people to kind of start letting them know that the LDC is behind all these different projects, because we rarely get the credit that I think we fund stuff and then it becomes somebody else's project.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to kind of start actually claiming some of the credit that we're, I think, due, but at the same time, it would probably be like a one-pager. It would talk about how the city's grown, you know, economic development, how it's gone in the city since over the last year, and then we'll measure a certain KPI, and I'd like to send it out to you guys before anything's finalized, so you have a chance to look it over and give us some notes.
How far back are you gonna go?
Just calendar year.
Okay.
Well, it's the same as the fiscal year, right? So it's,
Okay.
yeah.
Reason I asked is I think we've done more in prior years than we have in this last calendar. So if you're trying to, depends what message you're trying to put across.
I think
Right.
The community business grant will show a good amount for the last few
Agreed,
months.
agreed,
That'll be,
agreed.
otherwise I agree.
Right. Yeah, and then, so as far as geothermal goes, we're still waiting on the Category C contract to come through, from NYSERDA. They gave us a warning it would probably take a little bit. So we've executed it on our end. Scott right now is out. He's our main point of contact for NYSERDA. He's away through the holiday, Thanksgiving holiday, and he'll be back, and by the time he gets back, he thinks that they'll have signed it, but he told us ahead of time to expect it to take a while. So that's all we're waiting on there. Everyone is starting to get to work. And we're gonna try to knock out some of the earlier milestones right away, including, getting secret handled and a couple of things like that. So that would probably pick up next month into January, obviously. I don't know what's gonna happen after the new year, so, I might be here, I might not. I don't know what's gonna happen, so we'll see. That's basically it for the executive director's report for now.
Okay. And we wanna go into,
I think,
maybe one.
no, we wanna get rid of the other.
Yes, get rid of
We
that.
wanna go through the other ones first.
Address our other items.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go through, on to, that concludes the
Thanks, Don,
executive
appreciate it.
director's
Yeah, no
report. Let's go into new business, still in the Church Street Alley Lighting and Improvements Project.
So there's a,
Where's Church Street? I tried to Google it last night, I couldn't find it.
right, it's the alley that's, so you know like where the food court was?
Troy Lighting,
Troy Lighting.
Yes,
It's
okay.
that alley in between that area is kind of, it's been a problem alley for a long time.
Okay,
behind the ruck.
Yeah, yeah.
And behind, and continue in the alley where,
Shop, was it?
no,
Oh,
Troy Lighting is, to, what's St. Paul's Place.
no, it's, La Capitale, like the old taxi stands? La Capitale, is that am I down?
That's going south.
Different.
It's
Okay,
going south, so it's basically the 2 blocks from State Street down to Ferry, and then
Okay.
oh, actually, there's a map in here.
Yeah.
there is, okay.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a close up enough map that it's hard to kind of picture it.
Randy does end there, it ends there,
Okay,
Yep. Right, exactly. So this has been a problem alley for a long time.
define problem.
A lot of sort of illicit behavior, a lot of, vandalism, a lot of, the people that live there or the people that own businesses there constantly complain that it's a problem, that it houses a lot of activity that kind of,
Is that the same garbage cans and
Yeah.
refuse issues that Franklin Alley was,
that
resolved?
because there's also, part of the issue there is that there's really very little light, and people can sort of just get away with, because there's no one back there, everyone's sort of afraid to go back there. It's the worst, I would say it's worse than Franklin. So the Art Center got a grant from ARPA, and working with Chris, to do a ton of really cool murals that got done, over there. And as they were doing it, I said, look, like, we should be doing more, because obviously this is just gonna get covered over again at graffiti if we don't actually have, if we don't improve the alleyway. And everybody seemed to like that idea, so I reached out to Labella, since they were already doing work on it, and, said, and they already did the Franklin Alley with us, and said, can you give us a proposal to basically do the similar thing for this alley as well? And so that's what this is. So it's the design and engineering, it's not the actual implementation. We're gonna have to take a look at the implementation. Andrew, this is one of the things I want to talk to you about, because I don't remember if, Jeff Dangburn said he was gonna do it as part of the tip, doing any of the paving and milling and filling? Okay. Okay. Just looking at traffic? Okay. So this includes doing, a survey of the alleyway, to figure out, because there's very little actual pavement there. It's the cobblestone and then it's pavement, but it's very thin. So we're gonna have to figure out something, because that obviously changes the way it pitches and then the way water rolls off and everything else. So there's a little bit of, actual engineering that needs to get done. If we want, the quote includes, construction administration. And I'm gonna take this quote, take the final project budget that comes out. I'm going to talk again with the owners that all sort of live along it, and we're gonna do something very similar to what we did with Franklin Alley, so that we can deploy this money, match it with owners' funds from the properties nearby that border it, and then also get that same, National Grid grant that we got before.
Why would Grid be doing that?
They do something called it's called a commercial corridors and, I can't think of the name of the grant all of a sudden.
But they're behind it then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they funded, Franklin Alley.
I know they did that,
Reimbursement
but,
grant, Yep,
okay.
it's the same thing.
okay,
I've already spoken to Amanda, she'd be down with it.
okay.
So I think we're in good shape, but this is the first step.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Great. So we need so the amount we're approving on this one is,
Up to $39,600.
got it. So including the construction bid.
That includes,
You
right,
want-
that includes administration and construction bid, which doesn't come until much later if we decide to do that. So that's an option.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve it.
great.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, and we have county absent. Great. Okay, that concludes new business. We'll move on to old business, the continuation of the Community Business Investment Grant Program Resolutions. This is our 5th round. We're looking at 3 projects today.
Yeah,
Start.
so things are continuing to march along. Let's see, so we're getting some more of the businesses now that are sort of more nuts and bolts and not necessarily looking at facade grants, but they need to do certain upgrades to their buildings in order to keep their business sort of where it is. And I think that's kind of still in the nature of what we're trying to do here. Obviously, capital expenses into the upkeep of your building and replacing and maintenance, and those things they're difficult and they can be very expensive sometimes. So we're happy to help companies like, FJ Ryan and Sons, who has been here, I don't know, probably for the last dozen years or so. And they take on a building and they bring 50 jobs here at the same time. So this will enable them to both continue their current operation and to expand a little bit into some of the industrial coating and things of that nature. So that's one of them at 295 First Street. 58 King Street is a proposed cafe and restaurant space.
Is that the old Dalbeck audio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
There's some roof issues that I think it was a roof drain that basically was faulty. I think that's what it sounds like. And I think it was like that for a long time, so there's pretty significant damage as a result. They've given us a bunch of quotes that are actually legitimate, so I shouldn't say actually legitimate, they're legitimate bids and quotes, and they seem to know what they're doing. So I felt pretty confident in that. And they also have additional capital. And then the last one is Jimmy's Pizza. This was a tough one. He's looking for money for a generator, a diesel generator, which will basically provide him backup in case there's ever a power outage, so that he doesn't lose his product, essentially. I understand the need. What's that?
Pizza.
What do you make?
Pizza.
Oh, pizza, okay.
Mm.
So it's
Yep,
back up there.
and he's in Lansingburg. The one thing that might be problematic, and I asked Eric to look into this, is that he's looking for a diesel generator.
Noise.
There's a lot of residences nearby.
Yeah.
And that's
Can
why I
you
asked.
get a Generac or something in there?
I was
Like
gonna say,
quiet
dude,
gas?
can you, yeah, why don't you just hook it up to your gas? So, I'm hoping to talk to him because he's got a quote for a really expensive diesel generator that I don't know where he's gonna put. And so I asked Eric if there's anything in zoning code that says that you shouldn't do this.
It might be a permitting issue, yeah.
It's-
Generac is quiet and they just kick, yeah.
They kick on automatically, yeah. The problem is we don't have anything in our new zoning that actually says anything about,
That would never really come up.
yeah, I think we need to
Morning.
do something about that.
Can we
I'm-
table?
I'm a little
we table
nervous
that one?
about tabling it.
Sorry, I never got
If
back
his
to your
concern
text.
is
No,
we're-
it's okay.
At the moment, we're looking
I can
at,
imagine. Yeah.
at the moment, we're looking at tabling this grant program until January,
I think,
after this round.
I think we might wanna do
That
one
was
more month.
the discussion.
I think we might wanna do one more month to
Okay.
keep it going.
Then I would be comfortable tabling it. I would be nervous tabling this project because if his concern is power off in the winter, I don't wanna.
There's nothing that so I think instead of tabling it, we just go for it and then talk to him, because at this point, there's really nothing that precludes him from doing it or prevents him from doing it, that we have any sort of authority or reason to say to him, do this. But I think if we talk to him and say, look, you probably got a better system that's not gonna make all your neighbors wanna throw rocks at you every time you walk around.
You haven't put a
As
contingency.
part of the application, they probably should get a code interpretation out of planning, and staple it to the application
Yeah.
and make sure that there aren't any issues
Yeah.
that would preclude funding.
Okay,
Just
Right.
give you time to think is really the short answer.
okay.
Yeah, I'm inclined to table it
Yeah.
now.
they're, like, having lived nearby this location, I know they're a big part of the community.
Right.
Yeah.
And, a favor to the community, like, I, in all ways, want to support them, but I just want to be concerned about the rest of the residents as well. So I'd say if we can, we'll go through 58-295, but it sounds like we're all on the same page on that.
Yeah.
Diesel generators
Well-
can be drastic.
And
Yeah.
is the diesel generator something that can be moved, you know?
It's gonna be big enough to run his entire, all the electrical, his entire panel, basically, so that's a lot, that's a big
You
system.
mean it's not a permanent structure?
Right, that's my concern.
And the other thing with diesels is they cycle on once a month just to test them. So
Right.
they're gonna run whether they need it or not, it's gonna run.
That's
And you
fair.
need diesel delivery, I mean, he's gonna, it's not as, I don't know why you would just wouldn't tap into your natural gas you already have.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, just to
So, yeah.
summarize the three projects, the scores as well, something that I've been looking at with each round. I mean, right now, I wish more people would vote on these so we could get.
I didn't vote on one.
Well, there's just a lot of people. Sometimes we're only getting the minimum for a quorum on these, it looks like when you guys, it's tough. So, the first project, 58 King Street, is looking for a total project cost of $100K. They're asking $50,000. 295 First Street is the score of 63. They're looking for $100,000 project cost, so a match 50,000. Jimmy's Pizza is looking for, at 475 Fifth Ave, their score is 56.75. They're asking for $28,000 projects, $14,000 match. Do we want to, let's start with 58 King Street. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution for this project?
That's the cafe.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Andy. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, and county is absent.
I'll make a motion to approve 295 First Street.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, and county is absent. And do someone want to make a motion to table 475 Fifth Ave?
I'll make a motion to table it.
Thank you.
I'll be the bad guy.
Thank you, Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed.
I'm usually the bad guy, Andy.
Yeah,
Not this time.
exactly.
Thus concludes old business. Do you want to do,
Do we have-
Executive
do you
session.
want to do financials or?
We can do
Yeah.
a quick financial, get it out of the way if Matt wants to take the, you wanna take a.
He's gonna go get everyone coffee.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, let's jump into financials.
So, yeah,
Thank you.
this is my- yeah, these are my, yeah.
So our first report is given a financial position, as of October
Good for you.
31st, we had total assets of $3,934,259, with $243,274 left in cash. We had total liabilities of $1,776,822,
Yeah, I'm having the same issue.
liabilities, which are the fund balance of $2,175,838. There are no significant changes to the financial position. Our last report for statement of activity, in the month of October, we had a surplus of $2,020.92. Largest source of revenue was the monthly National Grid license fee, and the largest expense were our legal fees.
And lawyers,
Damn lawyers, yeah. Relentless.
and lawyers.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve, or any comments or questions for Matt on financials? Otherwise, we have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you, Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed.
Matt, real quick, did you ever set up the separate account for the, for tracking the geothermal?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The legal line largely can be moved into that, anything that's geo, and then you can use that for reimbursement.
We need to, yeah.
Once you get, Cat C signed by NYSERDA,
Well, we're off to the races, so
Yeah,
yeah, and I also
right.
wanna track all of our hours too, so
okay.
if you can,
The
we'll talk
geo's
about
a separate matter, you can just grab all those separately, and it's super easy to account.
Sweet.
Okay, we have,
You can
We
make a
have a
motion for
motion.
executive session to consider the acquisition or disposition of real estate that may affect the price thereof.
That.
Yeah.
That,
would someone like to?
I'll make a motion for that.
Thank you, Andy.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
It's on the other
Okay.
side of the tracks.
We're,
And
I just gotta make sure we can tie it together, 'cause otherwise we'd be,
Oh.
I mean, it would, you know, lame duck, you know, it's just
Oh, yeah.
really bad
Okay,
scenario.
To, make sure that that implication is.
Yeah,
let's go with,
okay, because it would be, it would be bad, like what you were worried about me with doing
Yeah.
here. I understand, yeah.
let's go with, we're back into, session where a new item has been added to the agenda. We have an LOI from, Louisiana Construction Services expressing the interest for proposed acquisition of South Troy parcels. We are looking for a motion to, tentatively accept
The non-binding offer.
a non-binding offer, with, Louisiana. Do we
I
have,
would make the motion.
thank you. We have Chris's motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Andy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No, and county is absent today. Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
thank you. Andy?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.